pretty sick. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Break Your Night with BL, episode number 24. Don't mind me, I'm just doing a little research and reading. I told you about this podcast I'm going to be doing with my buddy Brian. I'm just researching on this Silversmith Joseph Richardson from the 1700s. This is a book about his family, and this is no joke. The grandfather Francis, then he had Joe Sr., Joseph Richardson Sr., then he had Joseph Richardson Jr., and his brother Nathaniel. So there's a bunch of them. But what's interesting is, here's that medal that I have. Shows that he designed it. We're going to talk about this and show this, all the secret hidden things that we see that are on here. Unbelievable. What else we got in here? Oh, he's got tons of silver. We got all of his punch marks here. It shows all of his, these would be his graffiti tags. See these marks right there? All these punch marks are what they used to describe who made it in the 1700s. Graffiti. Unbelievable. So I'm just matching, the IR that I see that they used with the IR that's on my medal, hidden. And it's amazing. Look at some of the silver, man, that he's made, man. He's made spoons. He's made all sorts of things. It's mind-boggling how much he's made and who he made stuff for. At one point, this guy worked for George Washington. In 1795, he was running the mint. Here's a portrait of Joseph Richardson Jr. These guys were masters of their craft, man, long before we were doing anything. So it's like, I look into the past of stuff. It's like, it's amazing the tricks that these guys were using. Like I said, I'm going to talk about this on my show. I've collected a lot of stuff, man. I bought a lot of random things, just rolling the dice. People were selling, they don't even know what they have, and we're finding things. And it's fun. Indiana Johnny, you know what I'm saying? Natural treasure shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just researching stuff because, you got to know this is a book about the family. This is super important. So I'm into that. But I've been going through a lot of stuff and, it's like, what am I going to show this week? What am I going to show that this week, next week? Depending how I feel and what I'm doing is what I'll show and what I'll pull out. But definitely I made some changes in my background set. I wanted to be a little more mellower and focus just on content. Got this sick canvas that Topaz painted. He painted this whole entire thing with a brush and a marker. Supreme skateboard, jumping over the moon. Or jumping over the planet, should I say. This is Earth. There's the moon. Sick talent, man. This is not a small piece. You know how long it took him to do this? Fucking Topaz. Sick talent, man. Then we got this piece here. There's Pace, Cease, Dessa, Sav, Germs, Den, BL. And in the middle, Lights. So that's his brother Lights. He did the clocks with all hands pointing and holding on to everything. Another fucking sick treat of canvases we have. And I think I'm going to make some more changes. I'm going to set up on the other side of my room and I'm going to just plaster some more stuff. Because it's still, do you like a mellow background? Do you like to see all the little treats while I'm talking? I mean, it's personal preference. And I know Hojo's always breaking my balls. Change your set, BL. You got a lot of stuff. And this is true. I'm going to change things around a little bit. Just a little bit. So, focusing more on content. But, people that know me, I've mentioned before, I'm a carpenter. I was a union carpenter in Manhattan a long time ago when I was a kid. And since moving into Connecticut, I've built homes. I've done a lot of different things. And I'm working for a company now where we build shipping crates. And we do all these unbelievable things. So, at work, because of relics and because of just natural life and doing graffiti and being able to acknowledge art and looking at things, I started seeing things in the wood at my job. The 2x4s, the 2x6s, the 4x4s. All these pieces, I started to see like eyes and faces and mouths, and it's mind-boggling. So I started to call this stuff God's art, because this is made by God. This isn't a tree. Nobody drew this. Nobody made this and brought it to us like, here, use this. And I'm catching things all day long when I'm at work, because where I am in this facility, there's nothing but bundles of wood everywhere. And for certain companies that we have deals with, like IBM or Amazon, I got to go through the wood to make sure it's perfect. There's no knots, there's no char on it, it's not broken, it's not bent. It's all going to be perfect. So I'm basically inspecting this stuff before I'm cutting it, and we're building these things. I'll give you an example. Here's a face right here. If you can see the eyes and the nose and the mouth, it looks like an alien head. You see what I'm talking about? There's no denying these eyes right here. When you look at the eyes of the knots that's in this wood, this is unbelievable shit right here. You can't make this up. Look at this thing. Look at these eyes. This is like Ninja Turtle stuff. Mutant Ninja Turtles. Look at this. You're telling me that's not two eyes right there? Come on. Unbelievable stuff here. Here, look at this little piece I found. Looks like Finding Nemo. You see the two eyes? Looks like either a goldfish or with the tail, or a koi fish. Could be anything, but it's definitely some kind of a fish. Looks like it's coming up at you. Can you explain this? I can't explain it. This is crazy. There's another piece I just happened to look at and see, and I just thought, what the hell? If you look up here, it's a little face of looks like Bambi, like a little deer. With the nose, the outline of a head, with eyes and a nose. And if you look here, here's an eye and a nose, and it looks like Bambi and his mother. No, I'm not high. I'm going to be high, but not right now. If you really paid attention, man, it's pretty sick. There's little details in here that just don't make sense. This is in the wood. I didn't put this here. I didn't draw this. Yeah, I was putting this piece together. And look at this. There's two of them on here. But look at this. Two eyes, eyebrows, and a face. This looks like the Grinch. Tell me it don't look like the Grinch. Ooh. That's pretty sick. And this is just a few of the things I've been finding. Hey, look at this thing. This is a 4x4 post I found. Look at this, with the nose, with the eyes. Looks like some kind of panda or some bear or something, little face staring at you. I found tons of stuff. Here's a picture of some hearts that I've been finding in these pieces. Look at these pictures, hearts. This is in the wood. I didn't draw this, I'm telling you. Can anybody explain this to me? Here, look at this. It looks like Woody Woodpecker. Look at this piece right here. Unbelievable. I got other pictures. Look at faces. Unbelievable stuff. And last but not least, look at this one right here. This one I call the Tootsie Pop Owl. Look at this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screw gun and I'm going to screw little holes around the whole top of it and the sides and the back, and I'm going to put Tootsie Pops in it to make like a lion's mane or like hair. Put all different color Tootsie Pops in there. Look how sick this is, man. You can't make this up, man. That's definitely an owl with all the veins of the wood. And to me, That's God's art, man. This is natural art and beauty that's around us every day. And I just happen to see these pieces that are nuts. Now look at this. Here's a little piece I saw in a knot. It looks like a cross. Look like God. This is God's art. Look at this. I found a couple little pieces. Look, it looks like E.T. Look at this on here. Look at E.T. Come on, you can't tell me that this is not something that is there. It's amazing to me. I love it. To me, I see art in everything, everywhere I go. And that's something that I love and I pay attention to. You should too. But as always, shout out to homie, Swiss Precise, Destroy Everything, Knights of Bedlam and Horror, the homie Pens, rocking my BL shirt, a custom BL shirt, here we are, the custom bubbles, with the black tag, black on black. Sick little treat, you gotta treat yourself sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I said, I invest a lot in myself because I believe in myself and what I'm doing and things I'm working on. It's important. It's important. If you're not gonna bet on yourself and invest in yourself, who the fuck's going to invest in you and pay for anything? Who's going to come see you at a show if you're not invested in buying the best materials and things to make super sick stuff and push the envelope and do new things? No one's going to give a fuck about what you're doing, I promise you. But going through things, I found a whole box of sick old cassette tapes. Cassette tapes. Oh, here, look, Tracy stickers. Rest in peace, Tracy. You missed, Michael. This is all like original tapes that I used to record on and stuff. But the irony is, original Doro tag. Doro love. Doro stir. When Doro passed, I went over to his house. We're talking, this is 1986. I went to his house and he had these tapes because, you know, like all of us, back in the day, that's what I have. I have all these tapes of all these jams from 103.5, these dope beats from 103.5, like all this stuff. Like I was always recording, I would write on everything, Hot 97. When the DJs were doing mixes back then, if you didn't record it or get it, you never heard it again. It was one and done and gone. It's not like now with the internet, you could just say, hey, Siri, can you play me Funkmaster Flex's Midnight Mix? You can't do that. You had to be in the now to get this kind of shit. So, I got this one Doro tape, and there's another one in here. Another original Doro love tag. Things that are important to me. My boy Doro. Taking far too long, man. Way too young. Dying at 15 years old is no joke, man. But this whole box, man, look at this thing. It's a box full. I can't even begin to go into all the hip-hop stuff and house music stuff and like the singles, the Protect Your Neck, Wu-Tang, maxi single. I got the purple tape in here. Raekwon, Ghostface. I got tons of different mixes in here. Good. Hard house music. Crazy stuff. Many treats. But going through this stuff, I found a couple specific things. Because, you know, when I was working on music and doing stuff, I found these tapes of when me, Breeze, and Anthony, my boy Dism, we were making songs and we were recording. And I got all these tapes. There's this tape right here, Be Original. One of the beats that my boy Andre and Rick had given us. Rick Budo, rest in peace. But Andre, DJ 360, I still speak to. I found him online. I hit him up. I was talking with him. These guys made sick beats back in the day, and we were recording songs over their beats. Okay, look at this TMR demo, we called it. Fat raps. Tons of stuff, man. What I want to do is I want to take these cassettes, I want to go to a studio, and I want to have them dropped onto MP3s. So I could send them to Anthony, because we wrote a lot of treat songs on here, just fucking around, you know? That's what we were doing. Trying to get into the business, you know, growing up on graffiti and hip-hop and loving it and wanting to do it. It made you feel a certain way, and it made you want to bring that message to other people. Well, I pursued music for a very long time. Very long time I pursued the music industry. I still pursue things. But I have a lot of other goals and dreams too. But in those days when we were working on stuff, and even like now, everything's files. Look at all these CDs I have. This is all burned files of music we've made. These are songs that we did. These are samples that I've taken from records and things I've backed up. These are programs for music and art. You know, fucking Adobe, InDesign, you know, Acid, these music programs that I've used. This was before hard drives. Before terabyte hard drives with a little box you plug in, you get everything. No, I got to go through every single one of these, and I got to plug it in. I got to put it into my computer, and this is all this cold heat masters and mixes and CeeLo. Got Craig G's original album he let me have one time to listen to before he even put it out. Tons of stuff in here. But this is what it was. And I've all stuff in my collection because I was the producer, I was working with the engineer, I was sequencing the songs, I was doing, having people do the art, I was hiring people for doing music videos. I had to keep all this stuff. A lot of people didn't keep their stuff. It's at the studio. Here, look at this shit. Look at this. Files and files and files. Anybody remember this? The spindles of CDs? Remember these? Man, I used to buy these by the hundreds. Hundreds. There's so many things on here. Like, I literally am going to have to spend like a month of my time plug in my computer and put each one of these things in and go back and dump it onto an external drive. But this is the original stuff. What do you do with this? You keep it. It shows, the journey of what we've been through of making demos and how you could do it now. Now you could just record stuff in your home studio, load it up online, and the whole world can hear it. I told you I put out some music. If you go on Instagram, when you're going to do a nice little post, you can pick music now for your stuff. Johnny Walker Beats. Johnnny Walker. Walker. Beats. Beats. Johnny Walker Beats. I have a ton of shit up there. Shout out to Jim over at Soul Spasm Records. He's my guy. He put out all my stuff digitally. You can hear my stuff on Siri, Alexa. It's on Google. It's just search Cold Heat Hip Hop. All of our music is out there. Other stuff I made. I made a house record under a fake name called Joe Jelly. A lot of fun, man. And I just put out an instrumental album, and Soul Spasm got that shit on Instagram. Check it out. Listen to some of these beats. A lot of stuff I made, man. A lot of things I'm working on, and a lot of things I'm not done with yet. Got movie scripts I told you I'm still working on. Tons of stuff. Got to keep active, man. Speaking of old treats, these are old treats right here. When I was making canvases, I was collecting maps, I was collecting old newspaper clippings, and all sorts of stuff. Anything to me that seemed like it was cool or vintage that I could Mod Podge onto a canvas, I started saving. I haven't opened up this thing in forever. There's a tube I have of treats. Let's open this up together because I honestly don't even fully know what's in here. There's subway maps on here. There's old vintage newspaper stuff. What is this? Boy? This is so old. Maps, old maps. These are maps that I've been saving that you just can't get no more. And when I want to put them on a canvas, because, they change the subway lines every fucking 5-10 years. The M used to be brown. Now it's orange. It only goes through certain places. Oh, there's a Vinny 3YB map. Woo. Treat. Vinny 3YB. Holy moly. That's no joke. And if I'm correct, this thing glows in the dark. Vinny loves to use those glow-in-the-dark inks. I know he did something in one of my books. And that thing just, you look at it in the light, and then at nighttime, with like a black light or something, that thing just glows, man. It glows. But this is funny. I put these all in here to save them. And the funny thing is, what I used to do is, there's a little Manhattan map. Lower Manhattan. What I used to do is I used to open up the maps, because, you know, they're all folded up. You know, you got a folded up map, you got to unfold it. It's got all the creases in it. So what I used to do is I used to take the maps, I'd open them up, and I'd put them under my rug on the floor. So the wooden floor with the rug on top of it, and it would totally flatten it out. So when I was ready to put them on some canvases and to use them, they're completely flat. There's no dings in them, there's no dents, no nothing. Because, you know, when you're writing on it, you don't want it to be all bumpy and all fucked up. I get it. That's the way it goes. Still got this pack of baseball cards. I think I'm going to just film myself opening these up later. Because that's the new thing. Just opening up packed. This is sealed. Never been opened. Gonna have to check this out. But also, again, shout out Ice. I got these pair of sneakers. I went to Marshall's. $20. Pair of Avias. And right away I was thinking, man, Ice, we gotta do some Incredible Hulks on here. Incredible Hulks. You could draw on the front. You could draw on the backs. You could do like Hulk's face with like fist punching, with like concrete cracking. It's already painted green for us. These are treats, man. I bought a bunch of packs of fresh Sharpie markers, all brand new. Get right into the details. I told you all I have all the stuff from Angela's Direct to take the glaze off the sneaker, get down to the leather, put whatever we want on there, permanent Sharpie markers. I got leather paint, we can do whatever we want. It's time to start pushing the envelope and making some sick stuff. Coming from graffiti guys and comic guys, it's definitely something, you know, that needs to be done. There's definitely a small window of people that do that stuff. Speaking of treat, I probably showed this before, but I've seen this video of somebody talking about how they used to make markers and everything, and I'm like, look at this right here. In the glass. Glass. Flowmaster ink. Can't get this no more with the paper label. Wow. I may just dump this into a marker one day for the goof and just save the bottle, because this is 3/4 full. If you can see it right there. It's 3/4 full, this thing. Just treats that I look for on eBay, man. eBay has a lot of amazing stuff. People have things, they just want to get rid of it. People have things, they don't even know what they have. And not for nothing, you know, I make these people offers. I'm like, hey, you know what, let me see, what do you want for that? I'll buy it. And that's what it boils down to. Invest in yourself. If you believe in yourself and whatever you're doing, you got to go all the way. If you're just one of these regular people that has a job and you go home and you just chill out, whatever, man, God bless you. I seen this thing on Steve Harvey one day, man, and it just rings with me. He says there's nothing wrong with being ordinary. Ordinary's great. There's nothing wrong with being ordinary. But if you put a little extra on it, you're extraordinary. And that's when I said to myself, man, I'm extraordinary. I'm always working on something. I always have a goal or a dream or some kind of a passion or things I want to work on because I'm into it. I don't care what none of my friends say. I don't care who says, oh, you should stop doing that. That's never going to work. Or why are you working with this person? Or why are you doing that? It's like, I learned in my life, I don't listen to no one. You got to keep the blinders on. You got to keep the fucking earplugs in. And whatever it is that you want to do, please do it. Don't listen to other people. Listen to other people is going to get you nowhere. Because they're either too scared to do it or they're fucking haters. That's a true story. I'm going to be getting out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Break It Night with BL, episode number 24. Next time you see me, I'm going to be in a different set. We're going to change all of this. We're going back to hardcore graph, hardcore treats and gems and more of this. Got to hang my RD display. Got to hang this. Got to have a spot for this, man. Got my AT map I showed y'all last week. I got to get that framed and have that up. Got to do it. Mandatory. Support the culture of graffiti, not street art. Peace.